Welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, TINLA, and we're going to be doing a love reading today. And what we're going to do is look at the present, next actions, and likely outcome, as well as some advice from Spirit and some messages with respect to your love life. I wanted to point out that as I was selecting cards and decks of my somewhat like 411 decks at this point tonight, I was drawn to these three, and it occurred to me as I was pre-shuffling and feeling them out that they really spoke to the energy on the whole. So listen up. We've got the Shadow Fates Tarot, and as you'll see, it's kind of in a murky, macabre sense, which is what I would consider your now energy in love. And then in the next actions, we have the Felt Tarot, F-E-L-T, like the material. It also just looks, if you just see the back here, very chaotic, which makes me think that we're going to see some very chaotic energy in the upcoming future, but we'll take a look. And then at the end, for the outcome, we have the Wayhome Tarot, which, as you can see, is very peaceful, very serene, very very neutral, very positive. So my point is, as I was even preparing for this, before we even get into the reading, and I was looking at the decks themselves spoke to me in terms of what we might expect today in our reading. So let's see how that pans out. If this is your reading, I encourage you to stick around. Thank you so much for being here, liking, sharing, subscribing. If this is not for you, feel free to check out one of my other readings. There will be plenty of those available. So mind your ears. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Okay, Spirit, for the collective who is watching this now or in the future, please tell me the person on the collective's mind or who they will meet in love. How are they feeling about the collective right now? Oh, there we go. All right, we're going to get 3 cards for each. And how is my collective feeling? And what is the energy between the two of you? All right, so what I'm going to do is put this over on the side and not look at the bottom. We'll take that as advice later. So the person in your mind, well, actually, you know what? Before we get to that, let's take a look at this as your reading. If you, as my viewer, are feeling, let's see, Knight of Wands, 2 of Wands, and 5 of Pentacles. All right, as I indicated with the Shadow Fates Tarot, it seemed like at this juncture, you're very, it's a very dark place. Let's take a look at these more up close. The Knight of Wands here. This is your fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and this is usually like the playboy energy or the charging ahead, without much of a plan. We're going to read these together, but I just want to give you a heads up on that. The 2 of Wands, this is energy typically of, a choice, a crossroads, some kind of path you're taking. Again, more wands, more fire energy. So you may have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in your chart or in theirs. And then the 5 of Pentacles, which, Pentacles is earth energy. Yeah, that's your Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Again, these are just energies, but they may be in your chart if that helps speak to you. And the 5 of Pentacles is an energy of being left out in the cold. Now, what I find very interesting in this deck as a whole is it doesn't have some of the traditional imagery we would expect from the Rider-Waite Tarot, even though it uses the nomenclature or naming conventions. This is very different. So, for example, even in the 2 of Wands, we don't see any wands, but in the 5 of Pentacles, not only do we not see pentacles, but we actually see more wands than anything. So what this tells me is you're in an energy of almost like running in place, like a treadmill kind of thing. You're feeling like you're not really getting anywhere. This person is really, it's like you've come toward them, maybe even a number of times to express your feelings and try to get some guidance from them in terms of where the future of your relationship might lie, or if there's a point to it all. And right now they're ignoring you. They're leaving you, as you see it, again, from your perspective, you're feeling very out in the cold. You're feeling like there's nothing around. It's a desolate wasteland. You're, just in a place of non-action. It's almost like you want to be taking action with this wand, but you almost don't see a point. It's like you tried taking action over here and it got you nowhere. So you thought about it, you thought, what if I just kind of wait around and see what happens? And it's like you also feel like that's not helping either. So I feel like you're in a very much a rock in a hard place. Like this is really the core, this 2 of Wands, of where you're at, is looking out on the horizon and thinking like, what can I do to improve this connection, if anything? Because I feel like you're just in a very stuck place. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some 2 of Swords coming along. Now, if that sounds like you and your energy, this is your reading. If not, stick around. Don't make anything fit that doesn't fit. If it suits you, great. If it doesn't, there's plenty of other readings out there. But for your person, if this is you, they are feeling 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, and 8 of Pentacles. So let me tell you, the person that you are thinking about could almost not be more opposite than you, viewer, because they've got, first of all, they got a lot of Pentacles here. So they're looking at stability, they're looking at the future, they're looking at building. And then Cups, they've got a lot of love. The Cups are water signs. That's going to be your Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if we look at these one at a time, your Ten of Pentacles is an energy generally of building a future, a legacy together. Here we can see in this particular card, it almost has a religious intonation, like there's a larger significance to this connection than you may realize. This person may view this as almost like a holy connection, something spiritual. And then with the Six of Cups, it's giving very much reunion energy. This may be someone that you've known for a while, perhaps since childhood, or you know, they may view you as having a very childlike energy and optimism, but there's an air of mystery with the moon here where you know you're together in it, but it's almost like your feelings are a mystery to one another. And the flowers that we have here, it's almost like night blooming flowers, which are unusual. So to me, this says you have a very unusual connection. This person senses that there's a very different energy to what you, the two of you have than maybe they've ever had in other relationships, to a point that it's almost holy to them. And so what you might be seeing as stagnancy or an I can't win sort of thing, they might be seeing as we are building something because this is such an amazing energy that has so many places it can go and long-term capabilities here that we want to take this slow. We want to do it right. This person is taking a very slow approach. And with the Eight of Pentacles, that really verifies that. Eight of Pentacles is an energy of, you know, putting in the work for long-term growth, you know, building a foundation. This person, you know, gathering stones here, presumably for some kind of other structure that they're beginning to put together. And they want to put it together in a way that is careful, that is not sort of haphazard, that is well-based in what the long term might look like here. So it's a very interesting situation because they are looking at this like long term amazing, and you're looking at this like, I've tried everything to get your attention. Why aren't you paying attention to me? And it couldn't be more different. The energy between the two of you, though, is Three of Swords. And I think that fits because of this misalignment, there's a broken heart here. And as we look at it, the person in the card is the person on your side looking that way. Almost like I'm looking at this and I'm seeing heartbreak. I'm seeing sadness. I'm seeing, you know, hopes that I had for this energy, particularly because this person's reflection is in the water there. And, you know, it's almost like they had this, you, viewer, actually, had this energy of a fresh start, of hope, of just caring and loving and optimism, and it just got shattered because you're looking this direction. And again, it's like you've tried everything and you're brokenhearted. And not only are you brokenhearted, but what's interesting to me is also because it's swords energy, is in your mind. This is a very much in your mind, you are feeling the pain. It may not be reflective of the truth, but it is real to you. And that's why you're here. So let's take a look at what the next likely actions are with our felt tarot. I will, of course, link, or not even link, but at least identify the decks that I'm using in the description here. So go ahead and check that out, as well as some of my other videos. Like, subscribe, share, etc. Ring the bell, whatever is needed. But I don't care about all that. What I care about is if this is speaking to you, I want to get you the information you need to live your best life. So let us find out, Spirit, what is the next likely action for the collective? We're going to start with the person that is viewing right now. What is the next likely action? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. And as you can see, this is, again, very chaotic, these cards. I mean, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love Jamie Sawyer, the artist. And again, I'm going to put this over here for advice. The artist, she's amazing, and I highly recommend her work. But just looking at this, it's very busy. So I expect a lot of movement. So let's take a look. Your next actions, we have Ace of Pentacles, Death / Rebirth, depending on how you look at it. 10 of Pentacles, which is interesting because now you're mirroring this energy. And I'm going to go across and read all of it and get it on the whole. Their next actions, Knight of Cups, 8 of Cups, Page of Swords, I see. And between you, High Priestess. All right. All right, let's talk, team. I'm going to wet my palette just a little bit here. Give me a second. All right, so, all right. From your perspective, again, we have a lot more of these pentacles coming on your side where you're starting to see a long-term future here. You're still making an offer. You're still willing to offer your heart, your future, your interest to this person. And you're willing to make a change to do it. You recognize that you may need to adjust your expectations of where this connection is going and how it's progressing. Time is flowing here. Things are happening, but it may be slower than you want it to be. And that's the essence of Pentacles. Pentacles are a very stable energy, but they're also slow moving. So I feel like in the future, you, viewer, are going to be still keeping this offer toward this person open, because I think there's a lot of love there. But I think you are going to have some frustration and needing to change your perspective, and seeing, you know, things need to take their time here. Then looking at the Ten of Pentacles, again, we're reflecting now. So you're kind of almost starting to see things their way. And I don't mean to say like this person you're thinking about is like winning or anything, because we can't have that. That would be inappropriate. But, you know, this person that you're thinking about, it's almost like you're starting to mirror that energy of, oh yeah, I do see the long-term potential, even though it's taking longer than I want it to. Your actions are, you know, I'm waiting. Long story short, your actions are waiting and changing your perspective, shifting how you see things. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw some hangman energy coming up in the advice or in the outcome, because you're really taking a different approach, where here you were doing a lot of action in the now and in the recent past, but going forward, your next actions are actually going to be taking it slow, taking a step back, changing your perspective, seeing the long-term potential, and maybe developing more of an understanding that just because things are moving slowly, it doesn't mean that anything's changed, that anything's over, right? From their perspective, you know, they have all this. Look at this. We got Knight of Cups, Eight of Cups. You know, they're looking they're starting to feel the love here. They're wanting to offer like a small apology to you, an outreach, a sort of, their next action would be like a token of apology, just expressing how they feel about you. We can see here with the seahorse, you know, the male seahorse, of course, in nature carries the babies, and is this sort of like it's foundational. It's unusual. You know, this person is willing to carry his or her weight in this relationship in a way that may be very non-traditional. So here we're looking at a traditional partnership in the now, but going forward, their actions may be somewhat non-traditional, and saying, wait a minute, I recognize and regret that I caused you pain. I see that. I'm watching you with the Page of Swords. I'm seeing the pain that you're in, and I regret causing you that pain and making it seem like I'm walking away from you. I'm building something, but I understand you felt that way, and I'm sorry. That is where I see your person's energy going. The next things that they're going to be doing is recognizing what has happened, recognizing your perspective in it, seeing that that is not what they intended, right? Again, with that seahorse, it's like a flip. It's an out of the ordinary. It's not what they wanted. It's not what they intended. But they recognize that there is love here, and in love, they are going to apologize to you. And the energy between you is hidden with the High Priestess. Now we have, of course, the pomegranate, which is spring. It's a new beginning. It's something different. We have the spiral staircase, which also makes me think of, what's the, oh gosh, the perfect numbering system. I can't think of it right now. It's like 1, 1, 2, 6. I can't remember the numbers for it, but the point is there's the ratio that goes into all of nature, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. So what I'm seeing is, look, you may not see what's happening here, but it's coming, it's developing, it's coming to fruition, and get it, fruition, never mind, I didn't mean it that way, but that's how it came out. And it's still a beautiful and perfect union here. And like when you cut open the actual thing that you have between each other, and you look inside, you can see the gosh, it's gonna kill me, the name of that the number. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but anyway, maybe you can't find the right words to say. I mean, I'm getting the sense that that's what's going on here. Is it's like, it's almost like it's a mystery of how you guys are going to communicate with each other, because we've got the white scroll and the black scroll here, and it's like you're at odds but also together. And so I think you both are on the same page, but it's hard for you to communicate with one another. But it's still a perfect union. It's still something that if you really look inside, it is perfect. And I'm sure that the name of that thing will come to me right as I finish this. So let's find out, because again, like I said, long story short, because this is the action line, the next action between the two of you is both of you looking inside, digging deep, and seeing that despite how unusual everything appears, it's coming to fruition and it's beautiful. And both of you appreciating that in a very, like, almost calm, healthy, like, I'm feeling very much a slow burn, beautiful kind of way. So let's see what the outcome is. All right, Spirit, what is the outcome for my viewer and the person on my viewer's mind? What is the outcome? I would love to know your thoughts, what's going on in your life. If you want to drop a comment, I will interact with you. Happy to answer. Love to hear it if it speaks to you. All right. This is the outcome for my viewer and the person on the mind. All right, and again, I'm going to go ahead and slide this over here without looking at the bottom for our advice. So what is our outcome? 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, Okay. And on the person in their mind, Daughter of Wands, that is going to be your Page of Wands. Father of Cups, that's your King of Cups. And Son of Swords, which is your Knight of Swords. Interestingly enough, we have the Daughter of Wands, and which, like I said, is the Page of Wands, and I believe we had that either in the pre-shuffle or I'm just hallucinating it. But the energy between you and the outcome, Father of Swords, okay, which is, again, King of Swords. So what I'm seeing here on your side with this 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and 3 of Pentacles is your outcome is you're breaking with the old. You're breaking apart the mental barriers that have held you down with this relationship, the expectations. The 10 of Swords is an ending, a death of sorts, right? Here we have actually, I almost want to say this looks like a dodo or a seagull, but whatever it is, it must be a seagull because it's got weird stuff inside of it, and seagulls eat all kinds of weird things. But it seems to me that you are letting go of some internal battles in your own mind. Those are going to die off in the near future because you're going to see building a future together with this 3 of Pentacles. And what I love about this card is, with the 3 of Pentacles, is not only does the 3 of Pentacles traditionally mean like teamwork, right? But at first you don't see it, but when you look real carefully, you can see this pentacle like here, right? And it's almost like at first you're not going to see the work together that you and your person are doing to build something strong, something stable, but then it's going to come into focus. And you're just really gonna just be seeing everything in its totality, but only after you are able to dismantle some of these thought processes that are holding you back. And we got a lot of thought here, right? We got 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords, Father of Swords, like all these swords. So both of you are very cerebral, intellectual, maybe high achieving, career driven people. You're just very much in your mind and you're trying to like pull back and see the bigger picture, and is this worth it, and does it make sense? And I think upon consideration, as we can see with the King of Swords here, you're really taking a stand that this does make sense. This is actually a long-term future, something that, you know, you're not going to see the payoff for right away. But again, with the windmills that we see here, the wind turbines, you are not going to be killing whales. That's a whole different thing. If you don't know, look it up. But you are looking toward a long-term stable future based on clarity and understanding of the other person and of yourself. I think that's the energy between the two of you, is really getting a mutual understanding, but more so from your part, you are the one driving the bus in this sense. This person already knows. Your person knows that you are what they want. You are starting to come to a different position where you're like frantically moving, and then you're kind of getting an understanding of them, and then you're letting some of these old expectations go away and seeing from a different perspective that there is long-term beauty here. The outcome from their perspective, Daughter of Wands, you know, again, that's that Page of Wands, which is charging in almost, you know, I think, again, was this it? Hold on. This was the Knight of Wands. You have the Knight of Wands here. Page of Wands is someone who is more playboy energy, not necessarily moving, but just looking good, smelling good. This person is, you know, really they're very enticing to you. In the outcome, you know, despite how you may feel and what they put you through, you still look at this person and think, my God, they're hot. Like they just tingles down your spine when you think of them. And if you are worried that that's going to go away because of everything you've been through, it's not. That is still there. Like they give you like one look and you are just all about it. And you see them, and they are, in the outcome, they really are a deeply rooted, this is like almost like a mangrove tree here. You know, they are someone who is stable and well rooted and not just like tipped over by hurricanes or other natural phenomenon. They are somebody whose love runs deep and strong and stable and prepared to keep going. Like they've never let you go. They've never, no matter how it has looked, they have never let that go. And they are standing and saying, I am here and I love you in the outcome. And it's been a turbulent journey. They know that. And they're, you know, with this Page of Swords, they're coming in to tell you, they know it's been a turbulent journey, and they see you seeing them. They know that you understand that now. And they want to say, as I'm taking it, thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking things differently than you normally would and being patient with me and understanding with me and open to what I have to offer, which may be different than you're used to. I'm sorry about the heartbreak. I'm sorry about the mystery, but I'm here. I'm looking fine, smelling fine. I got love to offer you. I'm out there with it, and I am in control of my feelings and ready to offer you something with that. So the outcome here is looking really good. If you can, See the bigger picture. Let some of these expectations go. Let some of the past traumas or bad experiences that you're seeing go. Let them go. Let them die. See the bigger picture. See what you're building together, and see that, like, from it, even if you can't feel it in your heart right now, in your mind, know that this person does care about you and is building for a future, and that you guys can build a future together. All right, let's get the advice from Spirit. Again, I put these cards down before. We have Seven of Pentacles. Look at that. I'm going to talk about it all together. Sorry, I'm getting just excited. Ace of Wands and the Magician. Okay, so the advice here, I'm going to go this way. Seven of Pentacles is building, planting for the future. The advice is, I'm hearing like Spirit's funny. Cut the cabbage, or garbage, you know, depending on where you're from. So there's, you know, but you're planting your seeds for the future. Bottom line, you know, the advice is keep going. It's one thing at a time. When you're planting, now I'm not much of a green thumb, honestly. I'm not one to speak on this. I'm actually more of a black thumb myself. But my understanding of it is when you plant your seeds, there's a lot of growth first, of course, that happens underground that you may not see before things come to beautiful fruition, right? So it's saying keep going, keep planting those seeds and nurture those seeds with the flame of passion and of movement. Like, keep going is the advice here. Keep going and trust in that and believe in that passion that you have between the two of you. And with the Magician, you can manifest things. You know, you have everything within you to hold down this connection. The two of you together can stand firmly in knowing that this is real. This is something that's going somewhere and something that's going to yield results in the future. Let's get one more deep here. Four of Pentacles, the Sun, and Justice. Okay, Four of Pentacles is, you know, not giving up. It's almost, in this sense, the way this card appears that I'm reading it, it's almost like the results of the labor. It's from the Seven of Pentacles planting to the Eight of Pentacles putting in the work, and almost regressing the Four of Pentacles, not letting go of the results of that. So the advice is keep going. You will see the results, and it will be a happy occasion for you. I mean, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, right? This is beautiful energy here, where you are actually going to see happiness. You know, you're going from that moon energy we talked about a little bit earlier in one of the cards to the Sun. And Justice, things are going to be equal. Things are going to be balanced. You know, old wounds are going to be healed. And this person, like I said, right now, you're very imbalanced. You're seeing things very differently. But the advice is trust and believe that when this truth comes in, right, with the sword here in Justice, there will be an understanding. There will be balance. You will not be the only person feeling like you're giving. Because, by the way, I think the person that's on your mind, they feel like they're giving. They're giving everything they have to give to you. And look, Ten of Pentacles. That is the third time we've seen. All three decks that I have used, we have now seen the Ten of Pentacles. This connection has long-term, stable potential here. This is the future. Your advice is trust and believe this happy future is here for you. I'm almost seeing wedding with this. This almost looks like, you know, what you would have with the wedding. And oh my gosh, I have to show you because I just lifted this up to show you better. And look, the Sun. The Sun. Just reaffirming that this is going to be a happy outcome here for you. So what I'm seeing is the two of you right now are at odds. The two of you are not seeing things the same way, but that's okay. Everybody's different. You know, I think that's part of the beauty of your connection is that the two of you are very different, but also in love. I mean, you're showing your love one way and they're showing theirs a different way, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What I'd like to do now is pull some cards based on messages that Spirit might have. And what I'm going to do after I move these all out of the way is pull my two decks here. I pulled these two before. I pre-shuffled them. I will cut them again just for the sake of it because it feels right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what would you say to each of the signs? And what would your person, if they're that sign, say to you? So you'll see where we're going. Just give it a second. We're going to cut through here. And I'm going to ask Spirit. So Spirit, if my viewer were thinking about an Aries, what would they say to the person? I still think about you. And the Aries, if that's the person in their mind, would say back, I've been working on myself and I am not the same as I was before. Taurus, my person would say with Taurus, I've never met someone like you. And they would say back, I realize all the mistakes I've made. If you are looking at a Gemini, you would say, I see you when I close my eyes, which I'm almost feeling like that's staring at the sun energy, right? When you like look at the sun and it just leaves those little marks in your eyes and your retina for like a second. Anyway, Fibonacci number. Got it. Fibonacci number. Sorry about the noise. That was what I was thinking of. Anyway, see, I told you I would figure it out. All right. And then Gemini would say back, I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense. If you were speaking to a Cancer, you fill me up with happiness, and they would say back, I want to make you happy. I miss your smile. Leo, you would say, I'm done pretending. And the Leo would say back, I'm afraid of commitment. All right, Virgo, stand by. You are telling the Virgo, stand by, baby. Let's see what happens. You got nothing to say to the Virgo, actually. You're quiet. Virgo would say back, I want to kiss you. It's almost like I'm feeling like this weird dynamic where you're just like, and the more like quiet you are about it, the more they just want to like grab you and kiss you, this Virgo. Like it's something about like your nonchalance that it just really gets them going. Anyway, Libra, I somehow trust you. That's what you'd say to them. And Libra would say back, I need to work on myself. I'm trying to clear my head, which makes sense, air sign. Scorpio, you'd say, you worry so much to the Scorpio. And the Scorpio would say back, I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. Sagittarius, I could lose myself in you is what you'd say. And they would say, every time my phone rings, I hope it's you. Capricorn, you deserve the best is what you'd say to them. And they would say back, I'm holding on to the memories of us. Again, it's like you're almost taking this approach, you deserve the best, like Capricorn of like, I know I'm not it, you don't want me, but I still hope the best for you, right? And they're saying, but no, I'm holding on to this, like I believe in this. Very, very on par with what we've been talking about. Anyway, Aquarius, you'd say to the Aquarius, you are amazing. Aquarius would say back, I keep hoping to bump into you everywhere I go. And Pisces, I want to make it up to you is what you'd say to them. And the Pisces would say back, I underestimated how important you are in my life. So that is what I have for the signs. One last pull, and that's going to be, if you were to say something to the person on your mind, irrespectively of signs, you would say, I can't hold back any longer. And the person that would respond to you, irrespectively of signs, would say, I don't want to be toxic anymore. So that, again, totally on par. This person, you know, you're viewing them as toxic, even though what they're doing, they don't view as toxic, and which is why they're going to apologize with that page of cups or the cups that we have there. And you are just frustrated. You like want to take action. You want to do. So this person needs to work on their perceived toxicity, and you need to work on stepping back and realizing that not all love operates the way that you perceive it to. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. This is not legal advice. I will see you next time.